usual. So
Right, yeah.
here I am. Hello, everyone.
It's fine. Don't worry about it, Mark. Yeah, we'll get there. So, Priya, in terms of driving today, are you going to do the record?
Yeah, it's already started. Yeah.
Okay, then what we'll do, and then in terms of candidates we've got today, so we'll make a start. Yes. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this month's November Jobs Club, supported by RMF and Sandwell College, currently from today. Really keen to have on board all organisations who can help and support with our Jobs Clubs moving forward. And what you'll start to see is a calendar of events which we'll promote. So December and then through into 2023, when we'll be making sure that opportunities exist both across the region, across the sector, and across various parts of organisations we're engaging with at the moment. So very much looking with RMF leading things to bring on board other parts of the region. So we've already heard previous months from Wolverhampton. This time we're going to hear from Sandwell colleagues. Moving forward, we'll hopefully hear more from Solihull down into Coventry, and then equally just we'll dot around and we'll make sure that as much accessibility of projects is available for as many people as we possibly can. So today, it has to be said, I have to thank Mark Gill from Right to Sight for joining us today in terms of our recorded session. So Mark's a newbie to this activity, so please bear with him. So today, Mark, what we want to do is open up as normal that very, very informal conversation about what Right to Sight have got going on in the region currently, what you might have planned moving forward to the back of 2022 and into 2023, and then a little bit more detail that we can talk to audience members about the type of jobs that are and will be in opportunity, and then at the same time how people would go about accessing them. And then I'll probably do a little bit of a deep dive with you for a couple of minutes in terms of acting as the applicant, just to see if there's anything I can tease out that'll be interesting to people both live on the session today, and then equally those people that'll jump on, as we now find, on demand from YouTube as we upload these sessions. So Mark, if I kick things, can somebody just go on mute, please?
Yes.
That's lovely. Okay, so in terms of Right to Sight, Mark, can you just give me a bit of an outline of the business and the type of roles that you recruit to, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah, Right to Sight was initially set up to sort of filter learners through out of the company and to get them into work. So it was like the back end of our training company. However, with the changes that came, obviously with the funding rules and the 50% that they're wanting to work now, the learners, we've sort of expanded that now to external providers and just helping people get into work and providing a resource really. So what happens is we liaise with agencies. Originally it was mostly around construction that we started working with, but as time's gone on, obviously hence the name Right to Sight, that's where the construction element was, but as time's gone on, it's sort of filtered across all aspects of industries now. So we do things from care, we're doing SIA, getting people into SIA work, and still heavily involved in the construction industry at the moment. So that's sort of where it lies. The majority, the type of employees that we tend to work with are small to medium type businesses. We've been obviously learning as we've gone along because it's a relatively new company where we've been picking up vacancies. It's more so now through social media as opposed to as it used to be through advertising, looking for people on Indeed and through job centres and such like, because it seems that the demand that employers want now, especially in the labouring sector, will be that somebody's let them down the day before and they need an instant response for somebody to go into work that following day. And that's where we come in. We monitor across all the social media, across all the Indeed, across all Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we start picking up a lot of vacancies through those routes and opportunities.
Okay, then. So Mark, in terms of interest from today for candidates, what type of job roles, if I said what's the top 5, what type of job roles are in a position for people to apply to and gain employment in?
Right, first one is still construction or related to construction. We've got a great opportunity that came in yesterday. Now, jobs with us that change on a daily basis because we work with various agencies across various construction desks and other industries. There's new opportunities coming in every day. Now we've got two great ones at the moment that have just come in, and these are for they're looking. It's a Warsaw company, and they do a mobile crane hire. So they're looking for 2 people to go in who will be mobile crane drivers and operators that they're looking to train up. So if there is anybody out there that has a couple of candidates in mind, by all means, send them over to us. They're looking to fill that in the next couple of weeks. So that's a perfect perfect one for you there that we get through. Other ones are labouring opportunities, and also progressive bricklayers. This is through a lot of level 3 bricklaying, the bricklaying training skills, where we get learners and get them into progressive bricklaying roles. So they'll initially start off as a semi-skilled labourer, but they'll slowly start doing the brickwork on site. And we've got a couple of really good companies that we work with. We've probably placed, I'd say, between 10 and 15 people over the last 2 years, which doesn't sound a lot, but for these people, it's life-changing. You know, it's actual trade that they've got that they're going to continue to progress with.
Okay, and then so that's quite a variation from a crane operative to a general labourer to a progressive bricklayer. That's really interesting in terms of where I come from, thinking about the opportunities that people might be a bit nervous about approaching, but equally, these positions are out there. In terms of support from the Combined Authority, I'd very much want to make sure that we're supporting people with training. If there's a gap and the individuals are interested in the role, but there's something that's not quite there for the individual, we want to make sure that we're funding that gap fill. So making sure that people have got the best opportunities possible. So Mark, what I'm really keen on, in the chat facility, what we normally do is upload people's contact information. So if somebody wants to individually follow up on an activity, so the crane operators or the progressive bricklayers, if you don't mind putting your contact details in the chat, and then what we'll do is we'll outwardly communicate that to individuals after today as well. I've just noticed a couple of hands have gone up. So Mark, while you're typing frantically in the chat bar at the side, I'll just open up who's put the hand up. So Neil, I think you put your hand up first.
Yeah, I just passed my dumper tipper, and I was wondering if there's anything, any job roles to do with dumper tipper. I've just done it through RMF. I passed last week.
Okay, then. So I'm going to refer to my informed colleague on the RMF Labour desk to answer that question. I think that would be a good opportunity to drop in first, please.
Yeah, could you repeat that question again? Sorry, we couldn't hear that very well.
All
I've
right.
just passed my dumper tipper ticket. I mean, last week, and I was just wondering if there's any opportunities for dumper tipping this year. Or I've heard that there's nothing until probably February next year. So I just wanted to confirm that.
Yes, Mark. Oh yeah, I'm Matt. Mark, I work directly on the Labour desk. Again, sort of working with employers to generate positions to place you guys onto our agency. I think you was advised correct there. This time of year, Mark, it generally does tend to sort of peter out, obviously with the bad weather and things like that affecting a lot of the ground. For the dumper work, again, it's not to say there will be some requirements, just at the moment in terms of the live job placements that we're looking to fill, Mark, there isn't actually any sort of dumper roles at this stage currently, but then as is with a lot of agency sort of work, it's reactive, Mark. So I might get a call later on today, tomorrow, you know, asking for 2-3 dumper drivers on another job. So what I'll do, Mark, is I'll record your details and I can get, obviously my number will be shared on this platform as well. So if you want to give me a text, drop me a text or give me a call later and we'll run through sorts of the options that will be there for you. We do have an opening, Mark, potentially on BBV. Is he still there? Yeah.
Yeah.
On the BBV site in Washwood Heath, where it might be a good opportunity for yourself. It could get you on the job initially as a general operative, because we've been told at the moment they have actually off-hired a lot of their plants due to the bad weather and the nature of the works at this stage. But the work's probably about 2 years ongoing still to have on that site. So if we could start you potentially entry-level labourer as a gen op, and then we can progress you once the plant comes in. Then there will be an option for you to then move on to that machine. Again, that's just an example of one of the options of how we can try and work with you, get your foot in the door on a live site and progress from there, Mark, when the weather does turn, so around February, March time.
Okay, so Matt, thank you very much for the answer there. So Neil, my advice and guidance would be, this is an opportunity where you should be dealing with your National Career Service Advisor and your DWP work coach to make sure that we've got all the opportunities available to you promoted in front. Matt's point exactly, as we've all experienced over the last few weeks, the weather on an evening and on the day hasn't been very helpful. So the wet weather will have an adverse impact in terms of plant operative positions that will be available, because some of them are seasonal. So what we want to make sure is that actually, while you're waiting for that seasonal piece to finish, so moving towards end of February, March, that we've got opportunities available to you, both use Mark's contact details that went in the chat today, speak to Matt, but at the same time, your National Career Service Advisor, which Matt will be able to put you in contact with at RMF, will be in a position to notify you of all the other vacancies and positions that are on offer. So this morning I've been talking to people at the Peddymore site up in Minworth. This afternoon I'm talking to people who are down in Coventry. So there's a raft of opportunities that regionally based, but what you need to do is work out what your distance to travel to work is and what your scope and availability to offer your skills in terms of the position. So it could be a gen ops, it could be a labourer, it could be a site hand, it could be a plant support individual. But let's look at what we've got available to you and then try and match that around what's interesting to you at this moment in time.
Okay, no problem. That was helpful.
No, so thanks to Neil, and I'd always encourage people to ask questions in the chat while the conversation's flowing, because we'll always make sure that we go back to individuals specifically, not just with one answer, but hopefully with a multiple answer set that'll suit people. So Mark, what I'd like to know a little bit more about, we all talk regional, and I talk regional, looking at the Combined Authority map from Wolverhampton down to Rugby, across the Coleshill and over to Stourbridge. What type of areas are seeing high demand in your sort of inbox at the moment?
There's still a lot of local work out there. There's lots of labouring jobs that are going. They're always available, but it's also national as well. Depending on the person's individual needs and the situation, if there are opportunities up and down the country. We've had guys working down in Portsmouth, up in Newcastle. We had one guy went to Bulgaria as well. So there are opportunities. I mean, we do keep an eye out nationally, because we do ask people if they're willing to travel, if they're willing to work away. I mean, obviously they get paid more and they get their accommodation paid for and fuel as well when they do work away. So yeah, the opportunities are up and down the country as well. But the majority is around the West Midlands area. Okay, then, because I'm always keen listening to people from Birmingham, listening to people from the Black Country, to make sure that actually we try and fit the vacancy demand to where people would want to travel to. So it's always good to hear that there's jobs in Walsall, there's jobs in Birmingham, there's jobs in Coventry and Wolverhampton. That's always keen for me. And then equally, the question that a lot of people are very reluctant to come across, but I can put it out there because I act on people's behalves. What sort of salary rates are we looking at the moment across Birmingham and the West Midlands for labourer roles into medium skilled roles into high level skilled roles? What sort of money are we talking about? Well, you're looking for labouring on a local basis would be around anything between £12 to £15 an hour. If you've got your dumper licence, then you can see an increase in that once you've obviously gone through a probation period, I imagine, up to about £17, if not more, depending on what skills that you've got and what qualifications you've got. As far as the level 3 bricklaying goes, we're sort of looking at wages. Generally, the starting wage will be roughly around £120 a day, but that soon goes up within 4 weeks to 6 weeks, round about up to 150 a day, maybe slightly more depending on how competent you are and and what other skills that you have. Okay, so no, thanks, Mark, and I'd always encourage
people who are listening on the call today, it's always an awkward line when you ask that question about monetary reward. So hopefully I've done a little bit of that legwork for you today. But again, just make sure you're aware of what that market demand requires and where you want to pitch yourself in terms of what you present in terms of your skills, and then what you present in terms of viability for that employment. So Mark, thanks for the conversation this morning. I'd like to go over to Matt next, please. Matt, I just want to know from today, other than the Gen Ops roles with BBV, what other sort of activities have we got going on for the RMF desk at the moment?
Yeah, fantastic, Sean. So what it is, we've had a request come forward. We've been working, to be honest, we've been servicing an organisation that pick up the industrial cleaning contracts on a lot of the construction projects. So to just give you an example, I'm actively recruiting now for, we sort of put the job out there as sort of general operatives / industrial cleaners, because there will be sort of a mixed bag within the role. Now these operatives generally will be getting site ready for a handover. I don't know if obviously you're aware of Heartlands Hospital. It's the care construction projects on Heartlands. So I'm actively, and I'm on the hunt even after this meeting today. I'll be resourcing to try and fill I've got 5 placements to get there for Monday. We're looking on that one again. It's not so much of a long run of work on that particular project because it is coming towards the end now, but there is still about 2-3 weeks worth of work to be had for anyone that would sort of be available to sort of fill those positions and sort of, obviously get the earning potential from that. Likewise, I've got another one very similar, again with a similar organisation, which is at Wolverhampton Civic Hall. An urgent requirement there where, again, Monday we're looking to sort of place around 5 to 6 operatives on that project also to assist with the handover there. And then again in Derby, a very similar project. It's a sort of a community building that's had sort of work done to it or extended, and they will be doing the same sort of level roles again on that project. Back to where we were going with the BBV stuff, on that exact same site, we are looking for a traffic marshal as well to join the team, along with a sort of groundworks labourer. We will sort of aid in the process of getting these guys BBV inducted so they can actually get on HS2. They will receive the HS2 passport. We can offer them the safety critical medical also, which would be required. We can facilitate on that side of things as well internally within RMF. We can put the right candidate forward through that and arrange their inductions for BBV should they wish to start.
Lovely, Matt. And are you okay to just put that contact detail for yourself and that number in the chat facility at the same time, just for people who've got the recording?
Yeah, I can pop that in the chat as well.
Absolutely.
That's smashing. Okay, thanks, Matt. That's much appreciated, and it's good to know that these opportunities are still there. And an immediate start is always the keen thing for me. So if people are on the call today, I'd encourage, as soon as this finishes, give Matt a ring. Get that phone line hot, get the opportunity filled as much as possible, please, folks. So I want to go to Anthony Pope now. He's put his hand up in the chat. So Anthony, you got a question?
I do, mate. Yeah, please. It's from Mark. I know we've just heard from Sunil about the dumper, but I've done my dumper and roller, and I'm actually from Walsall myself, Mark.
Oh.
And I was just wondering, is there anything that you've got available that could start soon for anything like that, or even general labour?
Yeah, the best thing to do is give me a ring. If you've got my number in the chat. If you give me a ring after this, and then I'll take your details and we'll sort something out for you.
All right, Mark. Yeah, cheers. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, no problem.
And that's always the advantage, folks, from listening to the call today. These people are real. So they're sitting at the other end of the screen. Yes, they're more than happy to put their phone numbers on so you can ring them individually. So I would always encourage people, if the number's there and you see the person and they're talking in the language that you want to hear, please make the connection, because if you don't, somebody else will. And I suppose for me, the other thing as well, the purpose we upload these recordings to YouTube is so that if you want to check back on something that's been said or get the contact details, you've got that available to you. So just log on and find out what's been done on this call if you joined us late, or equally other calls that we've done previous months. So colleagues at Danny Sullivan Group, colleagues at VGC are always keen to make sure that individuals are making their applications available to them. So anybody that's been on a previous jobs club hasn't stopped looking for people. They're currently actively still looking for people. What we want to do is bring new people along every month. So people from a different organisation or from a different location representing different jobs. We'll always look to RMF in terms of the originator of the jobs clubs, the Combined Authority funding RMF to do the training as well as other people. But it's all about making sure that you're available and making sure the opportunities are available to you using the various routes to market. So the RMF Labour Desk, Mark Gill here today from Right to Sight. Keep a note of the number on your phone. Please be kind to Mark though, because sometimes he likes to have his tea. Yeah, if you can ring in office hours, that's always useful. But again, it's there to be used. So please don't ring after you've been on a night out in central Birmingham. But if you can, just make yourself known, and then equally Mark will have your details on file, same as all the other partners will. So Priya, from today, I'm really glad that we've managed to bring Mark along. Really glad that RMF Labour Desk are represented as normal. We'll very much be looking forward to putting another session on in December. My plan at the moment is to try and bring more opportunities through across. Oh, Priya's given me another opportunity here, Bar Hill opportunity. So Priya, please promote it.
So I was like, don't cut me off just yet. I've got a couple of slides of vacancies. So from Bar Hill, so they're actually based in Walsall, but they have some vacancies across the region, I believe, and there's quite a good mixture. So I wanted to share these. You know, there's a mixture of still fixers, dumper operators, traffic marshallers. So I know a lot of people that are listening in may have these tickets. So there is a contact number there, but I'm happy to copy that into the chat as well. It's just on the presentation at the minute, so I'll copy that across. So there is a Midlands region contact. That's Colin Macken, and his number's there. So if anybody wants to write it down, I will copy it in. Like I said, there's an email address as well. So, you know, a lot of vacancies there that you can see. So that's from Bar Hill. There is also another set of vacancies from Balfour Beatty Vinci, who we work in partnership with. I know Matt mentioned that we had traffic marshal with them, but I'm going to share those now. So they have not just construction vacancies, so you know, admin within construction as well. So if anybody is listening in and they know anybody, you know, they're looking for personal assistance, tunnelling, work placement. There's a plant office manager. So yeah, so a good mixture. There's another page as well, so I will be sharing that. And then the traffic marshal one is in Warwickshire. So apologies that the writing's a little bit small. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I'm happy to share this presentation with anybody. So just get in contact with me and I can share it with you. So the next one, we've got also a facilities assistant. We've got finance controller, site support. So these are spread across, you know, different areas. We've got Coleshill, Kingsbury, so they're not just in one area. So you know, it's worth looking at if you know anybody who's looking for more the admin side in construction as well.
Fab, appreciate that. So if I was Anthony Pope, I'd be thinking somebody's given me a Christmas present. He's brought two people from Walsall specifically along for me. So Anthony, I hope after today's call that you're going to be busy on the phone this afternoon, please.
I've just, my hand's got cramped with the numbers I'm writing down.
Yeah, and the idea is we'll put the information into the chat so you've got that. So please don't be frantic. It's about just trying to find out the opportunities that exist and use those as best we possibly can. But equally, you know, there'll be people from other parts of this West Midlands region on the call today. I want to make sure there's an opportunity for everyone here. Because that's the idea. We want to make sure we're giving as many opportunities to people as possible. So Dominic, Dave, Daniel, Jamie, please make sure there's something for you. If again there's any additional information or advice and guidance you need, I would refer you back. So anybody that's linked to the job centre, speak to your work coach about the help and support we can offer through your work coach. Again, National Careers Service are available if you want to have an appointment with a person on a one-to-one basis over the screen or in person. That can be arranged for you as well. So anything that anybody's going to need shouldn't be in short supply. And again, the whole purpose of doing these online, we want to get the message out to as many people as possible. It's great to see my colleague at Dudley join me today, Dan, and hopefully Dan will be coming and joining us maybe in the new year. to promote what opportunities are happening with employers in and around the Dudley area. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for joining today. Specific thanks to Matt and Priya from RMF. Specific thanks to Mark joining us from Right to Sight, talking about what opportunities exist through that organisation, and hopefully, Mark, what you'll get from today is a lot more inquiries on your phone than you thought you were going to get. So hopefully that's good for everybody. That's what we want to hear. And then again, look forward to seeing people in December for our December Jobs Club, and then equally looking forward into plans for 2023 about jobs that will be created when we've got through this winter, folks. Yeah, because it will end. The light will come back, the rain will stop, and dumper roller tickets will be in abundance, and the jobs will be in abundance. Maybe not quite the same as what we've got at the minute with the mud and the puddles, but again, this region isn't going to stop building, this region isn't going to stop growing, and the opportunities will be there for as many people as possible. So thanks everybody, have an absolutely great day, and look forward to seeing everybody on the December call if need be. That's great. Thanks now. Cheers folks.